check.
Reach as far as you're down. It's only fear that keeps you out of the You will surrender to loving what you are. For what is brighter or lighter than the surface of your soul? You are spirit coming forth. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as your doubt. It's only fear that keeps you out of the You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. It's time. I've been waiting all my life for someone, something, anything to break the walls down. Time to move now. I can never stand alone among your sea of energy. Like a puzzle, we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth. Ignite like a fire spreads its light, expressing in a flaming fury. Light your dreams now, burn your fears down. We can never stand as one among imagined enemies. Like a puzzle, we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth. Spiraling into a pattern of eternal light, following the path of love, gathering the thread that weaves us in divine design. Despite illusion, I am whole. within, how can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. When they tell you life is empty, when they tell you love is pain, can you feel the heart that's aching and the fear that sounds like blame? How can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. See yourself as if there's nothing to it. See yourself as if it's already done. See yourself as if you've already been through it and you've won. When you think you can do it and you know you will win, you align with life that breathes you and the strength alive within, and you will know how strong your wind blows. Look inside of you for the truth, the voice inside of you.
Sure sounds good, doesn't it? Good morning, everybody. Welcome Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. All those online, all those right here in person. It's a beautiful day to be here. and be in community and just feel this presence. Even online, we embrace you and bring you into the warmth of this room, the warmth of spirit and the warmth of life itself that's flowing in us and through us. So we like to begin each service with an opening song to help us get warmed up too. And those online, you can sing along with us too.
Good morning. I hope you'll join me in singing I Am Opening. I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God. I let Spirit guide my day, living love in every way, opening to light. I am opening to the light of Spirit. I am opening to the light of God. I am opening to the light of Spirit. I am opening to the light of God. I let Spirit guide my day, living light in every way. I am opening to the love of Spirit. I am opening to the love of God.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So good to be here today. Astra Fox with us for music. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. We've got a great production team out here and our ushers. And we also have the youth program going right now, which is really wonderful to have that as part of our community. It's been missing for so long since the pandemic, and we're back to that. So if you have young ones around or grandchildren, then bring them for the program. We're happy to be lifting them up and allowing you to go to the service too as well. So it's great to be here. We'd like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. I've lost my control. I think I left it back there, but if you could advance it for me, I would appreciate it. It's good to lose control every now and then, right? To read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassion and action. And our mission statement: we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. I don't know about you, but particularly the last part of that becomes a vision for me on a daily basis, to live intentionally, to love the best I can unconditionally. You know, it's a vision. So we do the best we can, and to see God in all people and all faiths. So it's a wonderful affirmation. So I do want to let you know a few announcements today. The first one I will let you know, so for the past 4 or 5 years, Centers for Spiritual Living, our denomination, our headquarters, has kind of set up a theme and outline. They give us a few ideas. They don't really write the talk for us, but it's kind of fun to be thinking that we're kind of talking about the same things as other Centers for Spiritual Living. So the new theme for 2023 is Living Out Loud. And I thought it was really funny, the hot air balloons have been a theme for us during our prosperity time, and it's got these hot air balloons and lots of color, and just, the truth is that such a balance between doing and being and this love that we feel within, it's great to express the greater truth that is coming around us as us to live out loud. So that'll be fun. So join us in January. We'll kick off this theme. And I think the theme monthly theme in January is to root and reboot. So that'll be good too. So upcoming services, La Posadas, Spanish-speaking service that is tonight at 5 p.m. It is in Spanish, obviously, but you'll get a lot out of it. Posadas means in, and it's a recreation, a metaphorical, metaphysical journey of Mary and Joseph. And it's a beautiful event where they're singing the song from outside our sanctuary to let them in, and the people on the inside are saying, no, there's no room at the end, go away. And the people on the outside keep going, but we're tired, it's been a long journey, we need a place to rest. And the people inside goes, no, there's no room here. And then the people on the outside sing again, and finally the people go, okay, come in, and they all come in, and then they have a service in here. So it's really a beautiful ritual that was primarily in Mexico, but it's brought here with that tradition. So at 5 p.m. tonight. And the winter solstice, our celebration is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll have the regular meditation at 6, and then the ritual and ceremony here, celebration of winter solstice, which is a beautiful event that we have each year. Candlelight service the 23rd. We are streaming. I know there's some more health concerns around, and I encourage people to wear masks both in services and when you're in close proximity to people, and for this service. And I know some people are choosing to watch from home, so we do have YouTube and Facebook links. You can find those links. We'll send them out on email and text just like we usually do, but you can also find them on our website. But it's just a beautiful evening of sharing light. The practitioners will be giving many talks about certain qualities of God, and then we'll have a personal candle lighting right here. We'll spread the light in this room. We'll darken things, and it's an opportunity to hold the light for others as well as ourselves. So please join us for that at 7 p.m. on Friday. And then on Christmas morning, we're having an unplugged Christmas. We'll just be right here in the sanctuary. We won't have any live music or streaming. I will send a message out ahead of time for those people who aren't joining us. But it'll be just a quiet discussion about the meaning of Christmas. I'll talk about the metaphysical meaning of Christmas. Then I just would love to hear what Christmas means to you as well. So that'll be on Christmas Day. I know not everybody will be able to make it, but we'll look forward to those people that can. And then on December 31st, that would be Saturday morning at 4 a.m. It's the World Peace Meditation. And I know that's an odd time, but it's the only time in a particular day when everybody is at the same time. So not the same time, the same day. So as soon as it's over at 5 o'clock is the first new year on this planet. So that's why we do it. And people around the globe are in this same hour, even though for some people it's 10 o'clock in the morning or noon or something, but for us it's 4 a.m. So join us in there. We'll have some chanting and a peace meditation. And then you go home and go back to bed if you want to. So no, it won't be. But no streaming, but feel free to get up at 4 a.m. and do your own peace meditation if you're not able to be here in person. And then on January 1st, Sunday morning, our regular Sunday morning, as part of our Sunday service, we're going to be doing a burning bowl ceremony and white stone ceremony, both of those, which releases the old and brings in the new. So it's kind of a fun way to do that. And it's on January 1st this year, so join us for that. And then we also have MLK Day coming up January 15th and 16th. So a busy month coming up, but I think it's going to be some wonderful events. So I hope you're able to join us. And know that during this time, we are here for you in prayer or any kind of resources you might need at this time. Feel free to reach out to us, fill out a prayer request, stay after the service for one-on-one short affirmative prayer. But please know we're here for you during this time. And now we'll begin the sacred part of our service.
At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is love. That love is perfect, that love is in me. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is peace. At the center of my being there is peace. That peace is perfect, that peace is in me. At the center of my being there is peace. At the center of my being there is love. At the center of my being there is God.
So I welcome everyone here today on this beautiful, glorious day. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes or soften your gaze and just let your chair support you as a warm, friendly hug. And allow your body just to sink into this time right now. This time where we come together to release anything we need to release and to embrace all the good that there is. And so I just give thanks for this glorious day, for all the words that are spoken here today, for each and every being that is present, online and person, and those who are not. And let's take a few minutes or a moment just to recognize the power of the love and the presence that is here right now with us. And I give thanks for this time. And so today we are honoring the wonder of life. Is that right? The wonder of life? The wonder of life. And I don't know how many of you are on Facebook, but Wendy posted a really wonderful thing on the wonder of life. And it's starts out with there's a couple of big packages in a bed, and off comes a piece of wrapping paper, and it's this guy, and he wakes up and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm alive, I can breathe, it's a wonderful day." And then the next package next to him sits up, pulls off her mask, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh look, it's Sissy, and I love her, she's wonderful." And then the next thing you know, the door opens and these two little packages walk in, and the little girl's face opens up and she says, Daddy, what's going on? And he says, well, it's a great new day today, and there's all kinds of wonderful things. And the little brother, his paper comes off of him too. So then you see the dad go into the bathroom, and there's a package on covering the light switch, and he flicks it, and he goes, oh, look, we have electricity, and it's magic. It comes on and off whenever we want it. And then he sees this curtain behind him, this wrapping paper. It says, Merry Christmas. He goes, I bet I know what that is. He pulls it back, and there's a shower head with a big bow on it. And then the next thing you hear him, he's showering, and he's singing and singing, and he comes out dressing, and he sits down, and he puts his shoes on, and they're covered with wrapping paper. And he goes, wow, look, I have shoes. And he goes to sit at the dining room table, and there's a box in front of him, and the two kids are there. And he takes the lid off, and he goes, oh, look, food. I have food. We have food. It's so wonderful. And then the kid hands him this thing. It looks like a briefcase, but it's all wrapped up, So he goes, oh, I have work. I'm so grateful. I have work. And then the little girl sets down car keys, and he goes, wonder what this is. And he goes outside, and he goes, look, I have a car, and it's all covered in wrapping paper. And so it's like, yeah, life is wonderful. We have so many wonderful things. We are so fortunate to live in this country, in this time, right now, to be blessed with all the great things that we have. And so I just want to allow you to take that in and just be grateful for all the people and all the wonderful gifts that we are to each other and the wonderful things we have. And so I give thanks for this and so much more. And so it is.
That's a nice segue into this next song I wrote called The Great Dream. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. You will remember the truth of what you are. You are a vision, a picture perfect frequency of love. You are made of stardust from above. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as your doubt. It's only fear that keeps you out of the now. You will surrender to loving what you are. For what is brighter or lighter than the surface of your soul? You are spirit coming forth. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as your doubt. Don't let your fear keep you out of your now. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited, and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. Thank you.
So this month we have been walking through different celebrations, different seasons of light, different faith traditions. And tonight is the first day of Hanukkah. So we wanted to talk about that as well. Solstice coming up today. But in particularly, I love celebrating Hanukkah because it has some personal meaning to me. But I want to invite Harris Nussbaum up here because he grew up Jewish, so it even has a greater meaning to him. I'm going to pull it down off the stage here because it's a little bit, not a lot of room here. You can't see it online? Okay, I guess we'll keep it up then. All right, so we have a microphone here for you.
I don't know if you know the story, but Judah and the Maccabees defeated their enemies. I think it was the Greeks. I thought it was Turks, but this morning on the news I heard it was the Greeks. So who knows? And they took back the temple, and they discovered that there was only oil for one day. But what happened is the oil lasted for 8 days, and that was the miracle of Hanukkah. So we light the candles, and beginning at sundown tonight is beginning of Hanukkah. You start with one candle, and then two, and then three. So, thank you.
And I know the word Hanukkah means dedication, I think. And so they rededicated the temple with the light they had until they could make the new oil sacred. A little tricky, yeah.
Thank you. My hand's shaking this morning.
So let us just raise our hands and let this light light us to remind us
Can I say
of the
prayer?
light. And then, you're gonna say your. That's right. Okay, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvah sol, v'tzivanu l'hatlik ner shel Hanukkah. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us to light the Hanukkah candles. Thank you.
Thank you. You can give that back to Dianna. That's beautiful. Thank you. It's a dangerous place up here. But it is a reminder for us to dedicate our lives to reestablish that sacredness within us during this time, to allow the light to reflect back to us. So I just love that meaning of dedication that's there. And so many of these stories of Diwali that we've been talking about, Hanukkah, Lo Posadas, the winter solstice, and Christmas, really are at this. It's interesting because it's a time of the year we're talking about it, wonder or it's a wonderful life. And particularly today, we're talking about renewing the light. And all of these holidays help us to remember and renew the light that's within us. It reflects back to us and we knowing. And it brings us hope. Now, hope's not a word I use a lot, and I'll explain more about that. But what's interesting about this idea, this time of the year, in the darkest and coldest nights, but they've been really cold lately, haven't they been? That we need this hope. In fact, if you read the account of Jesus being born in the Bible, it really happened in the spring. But the Romans paired it with the celebrations of solstice and the pagan rituals. I don't know if it was out of wanting them to people to adopt that religion, or because it makes sense to put it in December, because that's when we need the hope. That's when we need the light. That's when we need something to remind us of something greater. So, and Hanukkah is another interesting one because it's actually a minor, in terms of religious reasons, for Jews, it's a minor celebration. It's not even in the original Talmud. In the sacred text, it's in a later text, the story of Hanukkah. But it's become a bigger thing. It's become a social celebration, but also because people need the hope at this time of the year. Now, as I mentioned, hope is not always my favorite God quality, because hope can come and hope can go. And the celebrations that we have this time of the year have kind of changed over time, both from a religious and a secular point of view. But we continue to open up to spirit. I loved your stories about the presents that are opening up, that we remember that spirit is always unfolding us in perfect ways. This year, our theme, the practitioners decided for the theme for our candlelight service, is the birth of the divine feminine. We know really that we seek to have a balance of the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, but often it's the divine feminine that's missing because it was suppressed for a long time. It'd be interesting for you to know that originally that the symbols of somebody bearing gifts and bearing light at this time of the year was one of the goddess at the winter solstice would ride a sleigh that was being carried by female reindeer. Now, by the way, all of the reindeer you see depicted in pictures with Santa are female. Do you know why you know that? The males lose their antlers during the winter. So if the reindeer have antlers, they're female. So and the whole idea of this, but because it's become more both, almost all religions became dominated by patriarchy, that divine feminine has been lost. So the practitioners really want to bring that back in a way that opens us up to all aspects of the divine. And it's interesting, I heard today that Santa and Mrs. Claus have opened up to a new era. And so they've decided to have shared leadership and a partnership with this whole gift-giving thing. So they've integrated their masculine and their feminine, their yin and their yang, and as a result, they've decided to make the following changes this year. Number one, in the past, Santa thought he could do it all by himself. One night before it had to be delivered, there were complaints about presents because he got lost and did not ask for directions. So they've decided together, they've created an organization with lists and teams of people delivering, so it's not all at the last minute. And this whole thing about landing a sleigh on a snow-covered roof just seemed like somebody might fall and get hurt, and going down the chimney covered with soot that, you'd be dirty. So they're just leaving things at the front door, just like Amazon is. There's a decree that Rudolph would be included every Christmas, not just wait for a foggy night. That everybody gets to play the reindeer games, and there's no teasing or name calling. That the elves are treated like people. They might have short legs, but they have big hearts. So they get days off and benefits, you'll be happy to know now. There's no naughty or nice list anymore. Everyone gets a present, but some have notes on them about their recent behavior. There's no cookies or milk. Thank you notes are nice and appreciated. And with a new system there, Santa and Mrs. Claus, even though Mrs. Claus doesn't have a name, like what is her name? But anyway, they're looking for more time together watching classic Christmas movies and laughing at the way that Santa has been depicted in those movies. That's, of course, after the staff party with the elves and the reindeer. So there we go, changes in there, changes in the way. By the way, something else you might not know about Christmas is, do you know why Santa's helpers go see the doctor? Because they have low self-esteem. Yeah. Can you name all of Santa's reindeer? You actually don't need to. They're already named. I know. And finally, what's the difference between a knight and Santa's reindeer? The knight is slaying the dragon, and the reindeer are dragging the sleigh. Now, when you talk about hope, here's the problem with hope. Hope is that my jokes will get better. They're not going to. Hope is like sports teams that you follow, that you think they're going to win it all, and eventually they lose, they look terrible. Hope is also like in war-torn areas like Ukraine. Can you imagine their hope getting dashed day after day because you think peace is coming, but it's not? Or somebody's chronic health condition. Or the economy with inflation, the stock market with gas prices. It's difficult to hold on to hope, but here's what I found the value of hope is. Because I always go, well, I want something that I can trust and count on, but hope opens the door of possibility. It doesn't make it possible, but it opens the door of possibility. Think of it as a house you have, and a house can represent the consciousness that we have. So it's a house that perhaps it's had termite damage or flood damage, and you don't even want to go in that door because you don't want to deal with it. You're avoiding it. But hope is a thing that brings you into the door. It doesn't solve those problems in there, but it brings you in the door that it's possible, and from there you can gain faith and trust and Spirit's assistance coming through you to make changes in the house, to bring it back into alignment. And remember, if it's a metaphor and metaphysics of your consciousness, then you can bring yourself into alignment. You might think there was something you did or some situation that you don't want to deal with. It's uncomfortable, it's painful. But hope brings you in the door that allows you to know that Spirit is there with you at all times. And can bring you forward and express through you as you, that allows you to know the greater truth of yourself. And what I want you to know is that depression If you think of what was depression, depression is our unwillingness or don't think we're able to go through that door of hope. So hope, although it is ethereal, it doesn't last. It gets us in the door. It knows that things are possible, and then we establish our faith and trust. So sometimes we just need to take those steps forward and walk through that door and find the faith, find the support of other people around us. What I want you to know is that, this is a picture of the goddess of the winter solstice, and beautiful image there. But whatever the conditions, we can always renew ourselves in the light. And that's today's topic, is renewing in the light. No matter what situation you are in, or what you've experienced, or what you felt has been done to you, we can always renew in the light. And sometimes we need to have enough energy, enough momentum to get through the door, to take the steps to get through that door. And sometimes we need to help others. We need to help walk them to the door. We might not be able to walk through the door with them, but we can walk them to the door and continue to encourage them to know that things are unfolding in perfect ways when we allow them to be, when we allow Spirit within us, allow this deeper truth to be who we are. This month we've had the theme of It's a Wonderful Life. It's misspelled in some ways because of the oneness, wonderful life, but it's an allusion to the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which is my favorite, one of my favorite all-time movies, but especially my all-time favorite Christmas movie, because it's one of those feel-good movies. Michelle and I were just watching the end of it, because I was looking at some notes for this talk about it. And we were touched by, we hadn't even seen the whole movie, we were touched by, because it's so feel-good, because in the end, he's a good person, and he's helped other people all his life. And it comes back, that support comes back to help him in the end when he's in need. But a lot of people don't want to talk about the middle part of that movie, where he really had a good life. And things fell apart in his life. And he was saying he wished he had never lived. And he was at a bridge looking over the side as if he might jump. And the only thing that kept him from jumping was somebody, his angel jumped in, and he dove in to save him, because that's who he is. And then he had the experience of a dream-like state, or a real state, who knows? It doesn't matter. He experienced as real as if he never existed, as if he wasn't there. And all these things that he had helped build, a subdivision, people could buy homes, saving his brother, helping other people, all those people weren't helped, and their lives were worse off because he wasn't there. And so he made this realization, and he came to this like your person who's opening this present, like, I want to live. I all this pain, my drafty house, all these things, they're going to throw me in jail. Yay, they're going to throw me in jail. Because it was life itself that brought him around. And things did turn out in the end. But we know that this is a difficult time for some people. I think of like finding the light within us, like the story of the man who lost his keys, and somebody came by to help him. He was underneath a street light. Somebody came by and said, "Oh, can I help you find your keys?" And he said, "Sure." And they said, "Where'd you lose them?" And he said, "Oh, down there." And he goes, "Why aren't you looking down there?" "Because there's no light down there." Right? So when we're in the light, it's easy to know the light when life is going great. But when we step into the darkness, when events in our lives take us into the darkness, it's hard to find our way. It's hard to find the keys to our life. And they're there always. The light is not dependent on a street light or on a person or on a condition. It's dependent on the Spirit within us that is always there. And when we can't find it, ask for support. And when you know somebody who can't find it, offer support for them as well. So the idea of renewing this light and keeping our light shining, it's important to know that we are always available for other people, and people are available for us, and that we may seem like we don't need something, but we all need love and appreciation. Don't let somebody's bravado keep you from loving them. This video, if you've not seen this video, I wanted to share this with you because it's just a precious video that was online about this girl at some sort of, I don't know, dance recital at a school or something. But it's when she sees her family. You'll see her. She'll show up because the camera zooms in on her. I don't know if you have kids that have been performers, but later on you coach them, don't wave at me, right? But this is a spontaneous thing of this girl that's just, she's cared for, she's loved. And she's spontaneous in showing that. Sometimes we are not as spontaneous, not as open and vulnerable. The truth is we all need this. We all need this connection. And we can all give that to other people, this light that is. So as we go through this, we need to keep this light, to be in this light. We need to find the balance between being and doing. I know when I was when I was raising children, I think that's always the hardest time, working and raising children, to find the balance of being and doing. And I was pretty burnt out from teaching at that time, a lot of extra activities going on and parenting and a few other things going on. And it was difficult to find that being and doing. And it's listening to the stories of the faith traditions that brought me back to realize that we have all, there's this universality of this time, that we need this light, we need hope, we need love, and to keep us in this way. And so these days I make sure and create some space in my life for the being part. Usually I like it really dark when I meditate, and I have a study and I go in there for my meditation time because it's quiet and dark. But this time of the year I come out into our main room and turn on the Christmas lights, because I really like the lights while I meditate. That brings in that light and get that sense, but this balance that I need to schedule this being time because it's just so important. And then the next thing we do to bring this light is to build our faith and trust in the universe. This is not always easy to do. We walk through this door of hope. And sometimes we still feel alone because we often need to walk through this door alone. But know that we're never alone, that there's always Spirit with us. There's always people there willing to guide us and be with us and just sit with us. Even if there's not a solution to the problem. Sometimes I have friends who are not willing to be vulnerable because they go, well, there's nothing you can do about it anyway. How about just having someone listen to you, or be willing to listen to someone? And empathy goes a long way in just hearing somebody. Maybe there's no solution to it, but maybe it's just being with it and being okay with it. As I mentioned, I believe so strongly in this simple vision of living intentionally, loving unconditionally, seeing God in all people and all faiths. And that becomes a mantra when we're seeking to find this faith and trust and not knowing how to continue going, how to resolve this, how to heal, how to forgive. And if we just allow ourselves, knowing that Spirit is with us in this intentional way, knowing the truth that is life itself that's coming through us as us. This is also the Advent season that a lot of Protestant churches do, and they light different candles. This is the fourth Sunday of Advent, and it's my favorite Advent Sunday because it's the angel's candle. And angels, to me, are always messengers of God. They in the Bible, they come forth and give people messages, and people are first afraid of them. But they're the direct message from Spirit. But what I know, what our belief system here in Centers for Spiritual Living, what Ernest Holmes wrote, is that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. And we believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And all people can have a direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with this indwelling God. We don't have to worry about whether we've been naughty or nice and we're on any man in the sky or Santa Claus's list, because we are inherently good. We are inherently amazing because of the divine being within us. And just allowing us, we can get a sense. It may not be a burning bush or words coming down, but we can get a sense of spirit, a sense of peace in our lives, a sense of that all is well, even though we don't know how it's going to be well. We don't have to know. It just is. And we can allow the Spirit to be present with us and be open to this, as Ernest Holmes said, this indwelling God. The high God, the most God, the whole universe is the same as the God that I feel within me. And we can all reveal this truth, this peace, this love, this joy within us. And we have to be willing to walk through the door to experience it. And finally, we are present in the presence. Of course, this time of the year, we talk about unwrapping presents. Whatever situations that are in lives, we unwrap it and allow the truth to be revealed. But we're also present for each other, that we're willing to be humble. And the way we do that is to be present in this indwelling Spirit, to be present in life. I appreciate the way a lot of New Thought people right now are talking about group consciousness. So group consciousness creates situations that are undesirable in this world. And individually, we can't, it's more challenging to change. Things are created by group consciousness. It creates a group, a community of people to create something different. That's why I believe in the peace meditation, the candle lighting service we're doing, because together we're holding something different. And it's so important to do that. Lo Posadas that's happening tonight, it's about inclusivity. It's about opening the doors and letting all people in. And no matter what your faith or your culture or your political stance on life, we can all be exclusive in some way. We can all do what's called othering, which is thinking about other people as being different than us when we're really all connected. We're all one. So just notice when you're doing that, when you're othering somebody else and allowing yourself to think that you are better or just different, because we're all connected in this way. And we can recognize this light. I appreciate the work of civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King and John Lewis, also Gandhi and even Jesus, who built bridges while they were, some of them literally, like Martin Luther King and John Lewis, were walking across bridges. And while they were doing that, they were building bridges so that all people are included, that all people are welcome, and open the light in this way. That we can always be aware of the light, to recognize the light, to be the light and renew the light. In Centers for Spiritual Living, the kind of prayers we call affirmative prayers are holding peace and joy and love for people. The God qualities that we know, the God qualities within us, and we know them for other people as well. I've become friends with Quakers in the last few years, and they have a term for it called holding the light for someone. And I love that concept because it's really what we do is we hold the light for someone, hold them in the light. No matter who they are, we just hold them in a warm, glowing, healing light, knowing that we can be renewed and they can be renewed. We also know as we share the light that a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle, because there's a source of light within us, a source of love within us that is always renewable. It doesn't get exhausted. We might get exhausted, but that's the time to turn within to find that balance of being and doing. In closing today, I have a letter from Ernest Holmes that is a Christmas letter that he wrote. And he says, "Christmas is for remembrance. The life manifested through our gifts to each other typifies the offer of life and the givingness of spirits to its creation. The hands of the eternal are outstretched through our hands, and the hearts have infinite beats in the human breast. But the giver must give of himself, for the gift without the giver is bare. It is not in lavish gifts that we find true giving, but in the sweet simplicity of remembrance, in the kindly thought, the tolerant mind, and the gentle act. Love alone can give love. Sympathy alone can sympathize. And only goodness can really do or be good. When the heart speaks to the heart, a divine conversation has taken place, a heavenly discourse." Each of us has something to give. Let each of us give of his best, of their best. And if we are bringing our gifts to the other, gifts to the altar of life, nothing less than the best will be acceptable. Nothing less than all is enough. May the real spirit of Christmas, the giving of the self to life, enter and abide in you now and through all times. So we know this light that's within us is always there. And we can renew ourselves, the giving of the self to life, and enter and abide in us as always. Let us go to prayer. What I know is within me, there is one, and there is only God, and there's only good within me. I may experience the world in a different way when I step out into it and I come back to the truth that is within me, that there is an inexhaustible amount of light and love that I can spread in the world. That as a community, we can be this light and this love out in the world. That we seek to love all people, even when they may be resistant. We allow Spirit within us to be this love, this forgiveness, this truth. And we give the gifts of light and love to all. As we release this word, we know it is true. And so it is. A little more music now.
Beautiful. So as I sing this song, I invite you to think about your light and the gift that it is to the world. How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you? If you could write a song, would you sing that song all day long? If you could write a book, Would you write that book as long as it took? If you know what makes your heart sing, do it now. If you could sail a ship, would you set out on a worldwide trip? If you could fly a plane, would the sky become your new domain? If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings, do it now. If you dream it's possible, you will be unstoppable. If you could be more kind, would you feel peace of mind? If you had a skip in your step, would you feel truly blessed? If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings and the gift that lights your shining, do it now. 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 How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you?
Beautiful, Astra. By the way, if you don't know, Astra is going to be our musician for our candlelight service too. So that'll be nice to have you there. So it's great. It's great. This is the time in our service when you have the opportunity to participate in the circulation of abundance. If I could have the ushers come forth. We appreciate all that you give at our center. There's a variety of ways to donate, either online or texting or checks. We appreciate this abundance because we know that it supports us, our vision and mission, and it also allows you to participate in this law of circulation of giving and receiving. That which you give comes back to you tenfold, and we so appreciate all that you have. So take what you have to offer today, whether it be of love or financial abundance, and repeat the affirmation that's on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I receive. And so it is.
All right, I would love for you to join me on this one. Just start with I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. You got it. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Oh, oh. Na 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 How about light? I choose light. 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 Oh, oh. Na 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 na. I choose love. I choose love. I I choose love. Oh,
That's one that could stay with us today. I choose love. That's beautiful. So this time in our service, we'd like to welcome anybody who might be here for the first time today. If you're willing to raise your hand in a moment, we have a special gift for you. Is anybody here for the first time? Okay, guess not. And we also welcome anybody who's online for the first time. We appreciate you being with us, and those are continuing online. I'd also we often at the first Sunday of the month, we honor anniversaries and birthdays and things like that. But I'd like to reach out to one particular celebration that we haven't done here, and that's for Brad Wagon Connect, who was honored by the county this just on Tuesday, I think it was, for your decades of service to the city and the county, school board, I think at one point initially, or no, not that. Oh, okay. Okay. But we just appreciate all that you've done for the city and this county over decades of service. So thank you. He's now he's retiring now. So that's why he's being honored by the county. So we appreciate you. So we raise our hand. Yeah. So we have an affirmation, and since we have no new people, we can address Brad or all people here. So we raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. Let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. If you need any information about any events coming up, everything is online. So make sure and go to our website, nvcsl.com, and everything will be on there. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I'm protected by love.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is.
Now the closing song.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. One more time. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
Beautiful. So as we go forth, we allow the Spirit of light to be within us and renew within us whenever we need it. And so it is. Have a great Sunday.